Hello, everybody. This is Gary Yao. Lucas, how are you?
Gary, yeah, baby.
I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on with your face? You have a stash.
That's right. That's right. I've got a second career going as a 70s porn star now. No, no, no. Really, it's my sidelight as a cop.
You mean OnlyFans?
Just kidding, Gary. Just kidding.
So, what was that look? What would
What's
that?
with the look? So,
Yeah.
my son is getting married at the end of September, and him and all of his friends are sporting a large stash. So, in order to be in solidarity with my son and his friends, I'm growing my mustache out.
Congrats. I'm glad to hear.
So that's really what's with the change in the look, Gary.
Who knows? Maybe you want to keep it moving forward.
Well, I will have to clear that with my immediate supervisor.
Sounds good. So, Lucas, what are we going to talk? What are we going to talk about today?
Well, Gary, I think I had a friend of mine call me the other day, and he brought up a subject that a lot of buyers ask about. And
Uh-huh.
it's, should I use an agent if I'm going to shop for a new home?
That's interesting. I hear that. Okay, let's talk about it. I like that.
Well, and let's set up the premise. So you drive by a new home build, right? They say,
Mhm.
brand new homes in the 400s, come on in.
Yeah.
Sales office this way. And you go in to the sales office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there's somebody sitting behind the desk who looks, acts, and talks like a real estate agent. And in fact,
Right.
they are a licensed real estate agent, and they say, "Oh yeah, I can help you, and I can show you some homes." But
Mm-hmm.
what we have to understand is that particular real estate agent, they're an employee of the builder,
Right.
and they work for the builder.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've done by going into that new home development, even just to look, is you've created an agency relationship with the builder that the builder's then going to not allow you to bring your own agent into the deal if you decide to work with that builder or to buy a home from them.
That is from the first visit then.
From the first visit.
Interesting.
So if you want your own representation and you're buying a new home, make sure you set up an appointment and go visit the new homes with your real estate agent. And your agent will be happy to do this. It's not inconvenient for them. It's not out of their way. It's not, right? They will be more than happy to set up some time and go see some new homes with you.
That's what agents are for. We're here to assist.
Right? And they will help you avoid some pitfalls that can occur in buying a home that let's face it, the average person just doesn't know all the questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So let me ask you this though, because I heard this about going to new build. Is that well? I mean, it's a new property. It's not like you're going to run into a house that need repairs because it's new. Well, 2024, brand new, and all those concessions that you could be getting from the new builder, because the commission that could be paid to the agent could be saved, and those savings could be passed on to you. What are your thoughts on that line of thinking?
Well, the builder doesn't pass those savings on to you. They pocket that difference, right? Whatever commissions or referral fees they were going to pay an agent, they don't pass those on to the buyer. They
Mm-hmm.
pocket those.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say, "Oh, Gary, here's $20,000 extra to buy your house." No, they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not extra money in your pocket. You don't make anything by skipping doing an agent. In relation to the condition of the house, I would caution anybody who thinks that if just because I'm buying a new build means there's going to be nothing wrong with the house, feel free to go ahead, and we're not going to get too into it on this call, but Google builder lawsuits in California.
Yeah, even the best of properties will recommend that you get a
Right.
property inspection.
I always recommend that you get a property inspection, and a savvy agent is going to know about any ongoing lawsuits with any current builders and any current communities regarding any issues, right? They're
Mhm.
going to be aware of those because they're in the business and that's their job. Again, you as the average person don't know what you don't know because it's just not what you do,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I don't know anything about rocket science because I'm not a rocket scientist.
right. So you ask for the professionals about the topic, like how to navigate to this. And
100. Another big thing is reading that contract and knowing how that contract's structured and exactly what it says and how it impacts you, right? I'll tell you a quick story, Gary. So I had a buyer come to me one time, and he called me after he had visited a new home build and after he had signed a contract and put a deposit down. This is definitely not the time to try to bring an agent in. And he said, Lucas, I need some help. And, I'm a nice guy. Okay, well, what can I help you with? He said, well, I visited this home build, which was actually the community right across the street from the community where I lived currently. He said, are you familiar with this area? I said, oh, yeah, it's right across the street from me. He said, well, I visited there. I really like the homes. I like the area. I signed a contract and I gave him a $20,000 deposit.
Okay.
Okay. He said, now my job transfer fell through and I'm not moving to that area anymore.
Mm.
And I need to
Uh-oh.
cancel.
Uh-oh.
I said, okay, send me a copy of your contract. It very clearly said in his contract that all deposits made on new homes through that builder were non-refundable, flat, period. Non-refundable.
That
The
means
builder
that,
didn't care that it was $20,000. That's not a lot of money to them. To him, it was a lot of money that he lost.
yeah, it is. That's a lot.
Right. And he could have saved it by calling me before he went and visited that community. Again, it was across the street from me. I'd have been happy to go over there with him on a Saturday and sit down and read that contract before he signed it and gave them a check for 20 grand. Right. Yeah. So
And
having a professional read that contract and knowing how those clauses are structured and how they impact you and being able to interpret that fine print for you is invaluable.
that's interesting.
Another thing is that taxes are not always immediate. Well, all taxes are public record. Taxes on new builds are not immediately posted.
They have an additional supplemental tax on it.
There's going to be a supplemental tax, which is going to be for maintenance of improvements, for maintenance of schools, fire stations, water treatment stations, a supplemental tax. And then there's going to be a Mello-Roos, which is like a bond, which is a 20, 30 year, or sometimes a permanent bond. That's money that the builder borrowed in order to pay to build those improvements.
Yes. And that is passed on to you.
So there's two types, right? There's the Mello-Roos and the supplemental taxes, and you're going to have both of them on most new builds. And you really want to know what your total outlay is going to be for taxes every month.
Yes.
Right. And again, you don't know what you don't know.
Only a professional in the industry can explain to you and walk you through this, to how to go around this. And you're buying a house. So that is an interesting way of thinking, like, well, I can save whatever the commission it is, so I can have a little bit of concession, new flooring or a new color of kitchen. Like those are little things compared to the overall impact you might have in this new house. And you'll know what is behind the curtain.
Sure. Even if your perception is I'm getting $10,000 for new flooring, which is not the case. But even if that's your perception, right?
Yeah.
If you're paying an extra $10,000 a year in taxes that you didn't know about,
yeah,
that's huge.
Exactly. And that's something that you don't know. And the worst case is that you don't know that you're paying for it
until you start paying.
Yeah. And that's like, where are these fees coming from? Why I have to pay this? Why I have to pay that? And by then it's already too late. You're already signed, closed, and living in the property.
Right. Then the decision is do I love the home enough to continue living here, or do I want to sell it? Right.
Yeah.
What
is the average price that you see in your market for a single family house?
The average price for a single family home here in Orange County, it's like 1.2 million.
Wow. And that goes for new builds as well.
Well, no, new builds?
Yeah, I know.
Back on 10% of that, buddy.
Yeah. So my point is that you're buying a 1.1, 1.2 mil property, and you don't want to go easy on it. You want to be vigilant that you're taking the right step in order to protect your future. because this is going to be the future. You're going to be with this mortgage for 30 years and more. If you, this is going to be your nest for you and your family. So
Yeah,
don't take it too
absolutely.
easy. I would say don't take it too easy. You want all the assistance that you can get, all the professionals that you can get to help you to make sure that, okay, is this the right course of action? Because depending on the developer to advise you is it's not the right thing to do.
It's kind of like going into court and you're being charged with a serious crime and asking the prosecutor to represent you. Because
Yeah.
remember, that agent sitting in the new home sales office is an employee of the builder, and they
Mm,
have a fiduciary duty to their employer, the
yeah.
builder.
Yeah.
They represent the builder,
But
and their
you.
job is to sell you a home while representing the builder's best interest.
So who's representing the buyer then? Themselves.
You get to go find yourself a good agent and make sure you bring that agent in with you. Gary, more than once, I've had clients call me and say, "Hey, Lucas, we were out driving around on a Saturday and we walked into this new home build and we love it."
Mm.
Right.
And then,
And
yeah.
then they'll call me 2 weeks later and they're struggling with it and they're having problems with the deal and they're right. And then it's too late because the builder says right there when you walk in and sign in that you're giving up your right to your own representation at that point.
Mm. You're giving up your representation.
So,
Sounds good. Well, Lucas, if people want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
well, you can email me. My email's here on the bottom of the screen, Lucas at sellmyhomerealestate.com, or you can give me a call on my cell, 714-356-7142. If you want to go see a new home across the street from here in North Orange County, I'm happy to show you.
Awesome. Lucas, thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Gary. Have a great day. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.